Mancunians. So we are we're just over 1.5 hours into this carve. I'm going to spend 6 hours, chainsaw only, completing George Harrison. You can see Ringo and Paul there. I did a few weeks back now. We've got today and tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be John Lennon. He's in this log somewhere, and I'm quite pleased with the progress so far. There's lots and lots of detail still to go into this. Because I'm using chainsaw only, there's lots and lots of different chainsaws that I use, ranging from large to small. I usually liken it to when you're painting, you need lots of different paintbrushes. Large brushes to cover large areas, small brushes for detail. I'm exactly the same with chainsaws, so if I've got big bits to cut off, I need a big saw. And I've got some very, very small chainsaws that are custom built for exactly for carving. So I'm cracking on with George Harrison here. His face is starting to come into view now, slowly getting in there, edging my way in until I can see him. He's got his hands in his pocket, he's got a standard suit on. I've chosen the early 60s, the early days of the Beatles as an era. There's several reasons that I've done this, partly because it ties in with the cast bronze statue over there, partly because the haircuts were a little bit easier, there's no facial hair, and partly because with the standard suits or jackets on, it's a lot easier than trying to carve something like the Sergeant Pepper's uniform, especially within 6 hours. So even though there's a lot of detail to go in, it's relatively straightforward in terms of their jacket and what they're wearing and things like that. So my name's Simon O'Rourke. In case you can't read, there's banners everywhere. Please get in touch on social media. If you're taking photos, it'd be great to see them on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and things like that. I'll share things that you post, and just hope you're enjoying yourself and watching me make a lot of noise and a lot of mess. Thank you. of you who haven't been here since 12 o'clock today, I started this at midday. I've given myself 6 hours, chainsaw only, and we've got another kind of hour to go. But he's almost done, so I'm actually ahead of time, so that's really, really good. I've got a little bit more work to do on this, but just to give a bit of an introduction, I'm Simon O'Rourke. I grew up not far from here, a little way up the Northern Line in Waterloo, and I've been an illustrator and a tree surgeon, and put the two skills together and become an artist, a sculptor, using primarily chainsaws. The reason I use chainsaws, just in case any of you are wondering why I don't use chisels or anything like that, because if I used hammer and chisel all the time, I wouldn't be able to make a living. The long and the short of it is the chainsaw is the fastest way to remove timber, it's the fastest way to remove wood, but it actually gives a really, really nice, energetic and exciting texture. You see with Ringo and Paul there, they're both purely done with the chainsaw. It's just a really nice tool to use. So the challenge I've set myself of doing this within 6 hours, I was about right with the timing, I think, and I'm pleased with this one. He's turned out quite well, and yeah. So the point of doing these, I'm going to be doing John. John is hidden in this log here, as you can see, and well, I can see him. John is going to be carved tomorrow. So tomorrow between 12 and 6, I'll be taking my chainsaw to this log here and creating John Lennon. He'll be the last in the series of the 4 sculptures, which will then be auctioned off for Variety Children's Charity. So if you're around tomorrow, we've got a team from the History Channel coming to kick the auction off. 6 p.m. tomorrow. It'll be it should be good. It should be interesting. I'm not entirely sure how the auction's going to play out yet. It could last several days, could last a week or two. But the main thing is just spread the word. Get onto the social media. You can find me on treecarving.co.uk. You can look at the Pier Head social media. You catch on to what they're tweeting and Facebooking about. You'll hear more about this. You'll hear more about the auction and the 4 sculptures that I'm making. So thanks very much for watching. Thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate it. Big shout out to my sponsors, Still Chainsaws. Supplied me with some really fantastic chainsaws there. And to my lovely assistant Paul here. Paul was an apprentice of mine. He's actually started his own business. If you want to follow him, look up Awesome Tree Carving. That's O-S-S-U-M, Tree Carving, on Facebook. He does some fantastic wave-inspired sculptures and beach-inspired sculptures. So yeah, look him up and give him a big shout out for helping me by fueling my chainsaws and keeping me going. Well done, mate. So yeah, I'm gonna stay away from the speakers. I'm gonna crack on with this now, and it'll be done very, very shortly. I'll even remember to sign this one, which doesn't always happen with my work. Yeah, so enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Sun's come out again, and we've got an hour to go, but I strongly suspect I'll be done within the next 30 minutes. So stick around. Thanks. 5.5 hours, well 5.25 hours actually. Ringo took 5.5 hours, but there comes a point when you have to make the decision to finish, and it's I'll get him out into the light for you in a minute, but I think I've got as far as I could possibly get with the chainsaw. The challenge I kind of set myself was to do this within 6 hours with just chainsaws, and he's yeah, I'm getting quicker and quicker, which is always good. It's always good. So for those of you who don't know, all 4 of these Beatles sculptures, John, as you can see here, is still trapped in the log. He's in there somewhere, and by the end of tomorrow, from 12 till 6 tomorrow, I'll be carving John, and by the end of tomorrow, 6 p.m, be here. There's a team from the History Channel coming to kick off the auction. So all 4 of these sculptures will be auctioned off, and all the proceeds will be going to Variety Children's Charity. So it's going to be hopefully very good for the charity. And yeah, so thank you all for stopping by and watching. I'm going to give this. I'm going to give this a coat of oil tomorrow morning, I think, first thing, and then he'll be out here where you can see him. And yeah, so thanks very much for watching. I'm Simon O'Rourke. You can catch up with my work on treecarving.co.uk. Catch me on Facebook and all the rest of it. Keep up with the Pier Head Village festival social media streams. They'll tell you all about what's going on, about the auction, about the charity. And yeah, thank you very much. It's been an incredible day. Thank you guys. Cheers.